want? Because we can't see. We can't see it, so we don't ask. And God showed me you got to ask. And then the second thing, when we do ask, we ask too small because we can't see. And what God has shown me is that, folks, look, He can do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you could ask or think. You can, look, love our president or not, like Donald Trump or not. But in the book, The Art of the Deal, Mr. Trump is a business man, said that if you're going to think, you might as well think big. And I say to you that if you're going to ask God, you might as well ask Him big. Why? Because He can do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you could ask and think. Listen to me, people, listen to me. I'm a district leader, sitting in my RVP's opportunity meeting on the front, the second row, and I said to God, God, if you just bless me to become a vice president, I'll bless your people. And what God showed me was that, Sedrick, you became what you asked for. See, you should have asked for becoming a senior national sales director. Why didn't I ask for that? Because that's not what I could see. And I say to you people, knowing what I know today, that if you're going to do Primerica, don't ask to become a national vice president. Don't ask to become a six-figure income earner. Ask to become a senior national sales director. Why? Because God is bigger than what you can see. Step number 2 is then you got to get a vision for it. See, folks, you and I have been created. I'm talking about you manifesting what you want. I'm talking about you being Tanya Poe and Everett Davis and all these other great speakers that you're going to hear from. The second thing that you got to do is you got to get a vision. See, you and I have been created so without a vision, you and I will die. As we know, the Bible says, without the vision, the people perish. Well, folks, in 2000, I had a good friend of mine by the name of Columbus Pollard came and did a fast start school for me. I got to run through this. And all he talked about in 2000 was his vision 2007. Now, at this point, I know a little something about goal setting. And Dante, I happened to go back. And then after the meeting, I go back and I say, look, that's what I need. I need a vision 2007. So I took a piece of paper. I put where I was at the time. Listen to me, people, listen to me. At the time, I was a senior vice president. I was making 100. I had 4 vice presidents that were making 50. I just put some stuff on a piece of paper. I didn't no more believe it than the man on the moon. I just put some stuff on paper. But I knew a little something about creation. I began to meditate on it, kind of visualize it, didn't look at it every day. Katrina hit in 2005. 4 years ago, in 2014, I was unpacking to move into another office, and I found this piece of paper. And I was in awe that 90% of the information that I put down on a piece of paper had come to pass. See, the Bible says that when you have a vision, you're to make it plain so that those that can see it can move in that direction. The Bible, and it also says, though the vision tarries, it's for an appointed time. See, what I found out is that I've got a time and God's got a time. Now, people, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. See, in 2013, me and the same guy on the dome floor of the Superdome, our CEO at the time gets up and he says, man, anybody that does this, this, and this, you'll have an opportunity to get on Primerica's Wall of Fame. Man, Primerica's recruited 10 million people. Folks, they own but 200 plus families on the Primerica Wall of Fame. That's like going into the Hall of Fame in the NBA. So in 2000, I went back, 2013, I go back, I started playing the music of the Hall of Fame. I exercise, I run basically every morning. So I would get up as I'm running, I would play that music and I would visualize me and my family going across the stage dressed up in white and getting inducted into the Primerica Hall of Fame in 2015. It didn't happen in 2015. What I found out is God's got a time and I got a time. But in 2017, at our national conference, folks, God provided the resources, the opportunity where me and my family dressed in white walked across the stage because we had a vision. Though the vision tarries, it's for an appointed time. Number 3, the third thing then that you've got to do is that you've got to meditate to create. Listen to me. Folks, we don't spend enough time in meditation. The book Mind Power will teach you how to control your thoughts. And one of the things that this guy, John Kehoe, talks about is the power in meditation. He says, man, you ought to have a 15 or 20 minute period of time every day where you go into meditation and reality does not have the right to enter into your consciousness. See, during that period of time, all you're doing is visualizing and seeing. Yeah, I know you don't have but one recruit. I know your best recruit is you, right? But you see yourself becoming an RVP, or SVP, or NSD. During that period of time, you play the role and you meditate to create it. Step number 4 is then, folks, you only say what you want. Listen to me, people. Man, you can't let everything come out of your mouth. See, what I've learned, one of the things that God has taught me is that too many times, folks, we say the wrong things. For example, there's some mother in here that's a single parent. Listen to me. There's a single parent in here that has a bunch of kids, that wants a bunch of money, wants to change their lives, but every time their children come begging them for money, they said, leave me alone, you're breaking me. I can't never get ahead. Folks, only speak what you want. See, I'm going to show you how this works. If I say to you, and we're talking about boxing, the greatest of all time, you will say to me, who? Who told you that? He did. He did. Now look at it, people. Let's assume he fought 60 fights. Did he tell you at 50 I'm the greatest of all time? No. He fought 3 little old fights. And then all he kept saying is, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. That today, it is in your consciousness that he's the greatest of all time. And we can find a dozen people that got a better track record, including his sparring partner, Larry Holmes. Folks, only say what you want. When the people aren't showing up and you're believing for an RVP promotion, or a $100,000 income earner, you ought to tell the world, like Muhammad Ali told you, who you are. If you call my voicemail right now, it says you've reached the voicemail of Senior National Sales Director and multi-million-dollar income earner, Sedrick Thomas. I'm telling the world who I am. And you ought to do the same. Step number 4 is then you create the belief of what you want. See, folks, you ain't got to believe a thing when you start. You just got to create the belief for it. Now, how do you create belief? The Bible says that belief or faith comes by hearing. And hearing. Folks, you got to control what you hear. Right? I had a young lady that we had recruited, was destined to become an RVP. Her name was Stacy Johnson. I can remember Stacy Johnson had a little daughter. Her daughter was about 10 years old, Alexandra. And she came to my office and I said, young lady, what's your name? This is about 15 years ago. I said, young lady, what's your name? And she says, Alexandra. And Stacy, her mama says, oh, Coach Thomas, don't worry about her. She's shy. And I listened, and I waited till she got out of the room. And I said, Stacy, come here. Don't you ever tell your daughter that she's shy. Why? Because she keeps hearing that, and then she's going to believe that she's shy. Yeah. And she's not shy. See, some of you been hearing, you're the wrong color. You're the wrong sex. You don't have enough education. Listen to me, people. You got to change that. How do I change that? Man, you get in there, you say, man, I'm a regional vice president. I'm a 6-figure income earner. I'm a senior national sales director. You create the belief. You just say it over and over and over and over and over and over and over with emotion, and you'll create the belief. Step number 6 is then you acknowledge the fact that you get everything that you want by an energy force called faith. Everything that you ever have, everything that you ever see was created by faith. You know, one day I was talking, you know, I was in a meditation fasting period, and God asked me, Sedrick, what is that phone that you're holding up made out of? Folks, what is this phone made out of? Well, it says plastic and metal. And God showed me, no, this is created by faith. See, somebody had a vision. Somebody said something, and an energy force called faith had to produce it. That's some deep stuff. See, everything that you want, faith produces it for you. All you got to do is create the belief. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. Number 7, step number 7 is then you give to get what you want. Man, I could teach on this all day. I don't have time. But I got 2 more points and I'm done. Number 7 is, folks, you got to give to get what you want. You know, in 2000, I was going to church, paying my tithe, and at the bottom of the check, me and my organization was doing only 25. We were selling a lot of PNC at the time. We were doing 25,000 in production. I'd made 100 grand just selling auto insurance. We was doing 25,000. I put at the bottom of the check I wanted 100. What I did not acknowledge was that in 2009, my organization started doing $110,000 in premium every 30 days, and now we do 300. What happened? See, God showed me that you give to get. Next time you find somebody that's in need, you bless them and say, Lord, this is for my RVP promotion. Lord, this is for my $100,000 income. Lord, this is for my $1 million hierarchy. You give to get what you want. Number 8, finally, is then you come to the realization that, folks, we are creators. Listen to me.